All right, hello everybody, and welcome to a video here because I'm doing a video here to basically give out my. I wanted to pretty much, as it's the start of the showcase times for gaming in 2026, because of course we're now in the new year, meaning that gaming showcases are going to start sort of beginning. They're going to kick off for 2026. And in fact, this week is we're going to get our first gaming showcase for the year, which is the Xbox Developer Direct. And I thought this would be an opportunity to sort of kind of put my sort of predictions in terms of what we can expect from the Developer Direct and also kind of sort of predict some of the surprises because I feel like there's going to be some surprises in this show because I mean, with three games, I can't imagine them not doing like a well, usually these developer directs are usually like what, nearly 50 minutes, nearly sometimes an hour. So that's why I'm thinking maybe there's a possibility it'll be a bit longer than last year. There might be a bit more to this show than meets the eye. And the reason why I say that is because, well, there's an anniversary for Xbox this year. It's going to be their 25th anniversary of the brand of Xbox because Xbox debuted in 2001. So this year's its 25th anniversary. So that's why I feel like there's a lot more riding into this year's reveals than previous years, of course. So yeah, without further ado, make sure to like us. I would love to hear from all you guys what you hope to see in the developer direct in the comment section below because I'd be interested to see what Xbox gamers and stuff feel is likely to happen in terms of reveals this year. It doesn't just have to be developer direct; it could be pretty much like stuff that you hope is good, you're going to see in this summer showcase this summer because it'd be interesting to see what people think might happen going into the summer showcase that they get their big showcase for the summer that's going to be arriving pretty much in June. So, but yeah, we might as well talk about the developer direct because, of course, like I said, the developer direct is happening on Thursday. And obviously, what we know so far about the developer direct, we have three games in particular, three games that have already been confirmed. So we can obviously expect reveals for Fable. Well, there's two games from Playground Games. The first one being Fabled. This is I guess, the all new Fable that we're going to be finally seeing. That's going to be a day one release for Game Pass. It's going to be coming to Series X and S. PC, of course, will be getting it. And then there's also talks that there's going to be a PS5 day one release as well. So there's going to be potentially a day one release also coming to the PS5. Now, in terms, well, we could obviously expect some gameplay and stuff to be revealed and stuff, but I also fully expect we're going to get a release date for Fabled. And in terms of when I reckon this game is likely to come out, I feel like because of the fact that they remained silent about the game for most of last year, I feel like we might possibly see Fable pretty soon into the first half of the year. So I'm thinking there is the possibility they might surprise us and release it potentially March, April, maybe even February. I mean, there's a chance they might surprise us and decide to release it next month by surprise if they were to make it a surprise launch for next month. But there is a chance they might push it, wait till March to release it. So there is that possibility. Or they might just leave it till the summer if they really want to leave it till then. The reason why I feel like there's a possibility it could be coming sooner is because, well, if you also have to consider the fact that Rockstar is going to be releasing GTA 6 later this year. So I feel like Xbox is going to try and get a lot of their games out before Rockstar releases their game or before they start hyping up GTA 6, which we know is coming because, of course, Rockstar are going to have a very busy trying to make sure that everybody's on board on GTA 6 and they know that November's the deadline right now. So, of course, it's just a question of can Xbox release most of their games before the big GTA comes out, I think they're probably going to try and get as many of their games out as possible to ensure that they don't lose revenue or they don't lose any profit against G6, which we know is going to be their big competition for this year. Is them having to juggle between promoting GT6 for Xbox, but also making sure that their games succeed as well. Now, so I feel like there's a possibility we could see it maybe sooner as like February, maybe even March. It might get pushed to April, depending on where they're looking to potentially drop this, because they're going to obviously want to get as many of their big games out as possible heading into like the summer and even just before GTA 6 starts really getting ready to release. But I know there's been this sort of conversation that they might release it in October, which I mean, there is maybe, I mean, there is that possibility they might save it till October and treat it like it's like a autumn thing if they want to. I wouldn't be surprised if they do that because I mean, it is Xbox end of the day. They could easily just make us wait till October to play Fable, but it would be nice to play it beforehand because I think it would be nice to have something big before the autumn at least. So I hope that I like to be hopeful that Fable is going to get something. Is it hopefully Fable's going to get some form of like a first half of the year release before the big hitters like GTA starts coming out. So fingers crossed we're going to get hopefully Fable pretty soon. That game because I think I'm excited for it. A lot of people are excited for it, so I'm hoping we're going to see it soon, be able to play it sooner rather than later. And then there's also For Horizon 6, which is their other game they're going to be talking about at the show, of course. So I feel like there's a chance it's probably going to come out around the time of the Xbox showcase in the summer. So I'm thinking June. I think June's looking very likely to be and in fact, it's interesting because there has been some leaks recently that seem to have leaked the release date for May for Xbox and well for Xbox in terms of pre-orders. So if that's the case, then that means that Fable would have to release around March or February, just so there's a gap between Fable and For Horizon 6 if they're releasing it around May time, which would make the most sense. So I feel like, yeah, we're probably going to see Fable before For Horizon 6 because of the fact that now there's leaks going around about a May release for Horizon 6 and the fact that they want to get it out on Game Pass around that time, which would mean that the PS5 release is probably due maybe. I mean, considering the fact they didn't really say it's going to come out day one on PS5, I feel like they may be potentially going to wait till like September to release it on PS5, which I feel like that makes the most sense for them to drop it around that time on the PS5. So maybe September's when they're going to release For Horizon 6 on PS5, which then that means that if you want to play it, you're going to have to get yourself Game Pass to be able to play it. In the meantime, whilst they get ready to start releasing the PS5 version, which will probably be saved till the autumn potentially. So there's that possibility that that's probably what they're planning in terms of its release schedule for the PS5, whilst the Xbox version gets it and PC release gets its release first before PlayStation. So that's probably what we could expect from For Horizon 6. Also, the gameplay reveal as well was what we could also from For Horizon 6. So not the release date reveal of the pre-orders, but also gameplay reveals because we haven't seen any gameplay yet for this game. So of course they're going to have to show off the gameplay for the first time. Now we come to Beast of Nation. This is a game-free game. The guys who are behind the Pokemon games for Nintendo. So Beast of Reincarnation, we did this, I wonder. I like to say first half of 2026 and maybe April. maybe before For Horizon 6, or maybe it'll be after For Horizon 6, because I mean it is going to be like one of those like samurai games in terms of the gameplay they've shown so far. Um, yeah, I mean there is a chance of it maybe coming out probably around the time of the summer showcases, so maybe June, but then would it make sense for it to come out in April so that there's something to look forward to when we hit Easter potentially? I mean, there is a possibility they might do make a release, make it available around Easter time in April if they want to give us something to look forward to around that time. But I wouldn't be surprised if they were to save it till like June and July. So probably around the time when the summer reveals are happening for gaming. Maybe that's when we're going to see Beasts of Reincarnation. Because I mean, it is going to be a third-party title. We're still, I mean, I'm pretty sure they said it's not coming to Game Pass, so it's going to be a game you're going to have to buy because they haven't said it's going to be officially coming day one on Game Pass. So obviously, we're going to have to. Mind you, I don't think, to be fair, I don't think they've really said officially whether it's coming to Game Pass or not. So I think we're going to end up having to buy it anyway if we want to play this game. So I think I think there's a possibility we're looking at probably June, July for this game's release because it makes the most sense. And also, if they don't give us a release date at the developer directs, there's a good chance they're probably gonna save it till probably October or September. Therefore, they would have to wait till the summer showcase in June to let us know the proper release date, which would make the most sense because obviously they're gonna want to save some reveals for this game or some big reveals for the summer showcase. So there is the chance that Beast of Reincarnation may not get a release date announcement and they might be saving it for their summer showcase in June. And that's when they'll probably finally give us a proper date for this game. So there is that possibility that Xbox might decide, hey, let's just wait till the summer to let people know, hey, when you guys can pre-order. Because it has happened in the past. We have seen games in recent years in developer directs where they reveal the game but they don't put a release date until the summer. So that's why I feel like Beast of Reincarnation could be that game. Could be one of those games where they don't give us a proper release date till June when we actually know officially when that game's going to drop. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's what Xbox are going to do because it's usually a typical thing with Xbox. They hype up a game in a developer direct and then they just make you wait till June just to know when you can finally play. It's just been a thing with Xbox these days. It's just yeah, when they see something they really like, they just say, let's just wait till the summer to give people the chance to know when they can play. Um, but yeah, so that's the Beast of Reincarnation. That's another game that's also going to be in the developer direct, and then we come to the surprises. Really, I mean, I feel like because of the recent, I mean, they did a recent post recently where they mentioned about this year is going to be a big year for games ending with a six, which I find it very interesting for them to say that because, well, I mean, we've got GTA 6 this year, but then there's also another game that's they are, well, one of their studios, one of their recent required studios, Bethesda, are working on, which is Elder Scrolls 6. So, because of that message from Xbox, you kind of now have to wonder Elder Scrolls 6 could be coming to this show, right? Because for them to kind of tease games ending with a 6, it would be a bit hypocritical for them not to show anything about Elder Scrolls 6 if they're teasing games ending with a 6. Then why tease that if you're not going to show Elder Scrolls 6? So, in my opinion, I think we're going to definitely see some form of a reveal for Elder Scrolls 6. Either it's going to be in this one, which is the developer direct as a surprise, or they're going to be waiting till the summer, which I think most would consider that's more likely that they're going to wait till June to reveal anything about Elder Scrolls 6, but I feel like they might reveal something sooner than that because it does really feel like that they've got some form of a reveal already set in stone, but they just haven't said when. That's kind of what it feels like. It feels like, oh, we might have some. I think we're going to hear about some games ending with a six. Like it's almost like they know something's going to get announced in the coming weeks, and I feel like Elder Scrolls Six could make a surprise appearance in this show. We might finally get some form of like our first reveal of gameplay for, or like a re-reveal for this game. I think that would be really interesting to see what this game's going to look like. Because I mean, for me personally, I've never probably properly played an Elder Scrolls game, so I'm very interested to see how Elder Scrolls 6 is going to lure people like me who's never played Elder Scrolls into their world. How are they going to convince people like me who've never played sort of games, even though I've got friends who have played these games? How are they going to convince me to want to check this out? So I'm hoping they will do a good job on that. And also Bethesda really needs to pull out a banger because they've had some very bad reputation for a very long time, particularly Fallout 76 being the probably the worst of those reputations, even though sure the game might be better, but it still suffers its flaws from time to time. And then Starfield's kind of struggling in terms of engaging players. And mind you, that's coming to PlayStation, so there's a chance we might see that game come to developer direct, and that's probably where they might announce the PS5 and Switch 2 release, because there has been talks about a Switch 2 release for Starfield potentially in the works. So we might see of their releases for those platforms for Starfield, because I mean Bethesda's bound to talk about that eventually. Um, so yeah, I feel like Elder Scrolls 6 could make a surprise appearance here. If not, then it's probably going to be delayed, so it's probably going to be saved for the summer showcase, or the game showcase as they like to call it, in the summer. So probably in June, we'll probably finally start hearing about Elder Scrolls 6 and their plans for that game. Because I feel like we might see that game within the next year. I just have a sneaky suspicion it's going to be next year when we're going to see Elder Scrolls 6, and it's going to be one of the launch titles for the next Xbox hardware. I feel like that's probably where we're headed for that game, because it wouldn't surprise me if that's what they're planning. Um, and then now the big question will be is whether, well, because of Xbox's message about games ending with a six, there was a part of me that was like, that surely they're not going to have GTA 6 on here, are they? And the reason why I feel like it doesn't make sense is because, well, Sony has the marketing, some part of the marketing deal with Rockstar and GTA because, well, they've got the marketing rights for that game. So I would rather, this is why I'm expecting Sony to be the ones hyping up the game more than Xbox because, well, it makes the most sense it would be Sony because Sony have got this partnership with Rockstar for many years and they've been, they always love to promote GTA 6 whenever they get the chance to. And also because of the fact that they're sort of building their schedule around GTA 6, I would feel like if we're going to see a GTA 6 trailer, they will probably save it for a state of play from Sony, or Sony are going to have like a big state of play dedicated to GTA 6 at some point. So that's why I feel like it's probably going to be safe for that because, well, Sony are going to want to make a big deal out of GTA 6 because it's going to be one of like their big pushes for 2020. It doesn't make sense for GTA 6 to be here because it's like, sure, it's going to be on Xbox, but Sony are more they're going to be the ones who are going to be hyping up this game more than Xbox, even though it is still coming to Xbox. I'm expecting Rockstar on a Sony showcase rather than a Xbox showcase because of the marketing deal that they have with Sony. So that's why I'm expecting Sony to be the ones showing GTA 6 trailers this year. Um, Now, surprises, what can we expect other surprises wise for developer direct if we're going to get like any maybe more surprises than normal? There has been one discussion that's been going around, and also it's becoming more and more likely this is going to be probably the place it's going to get announced. But you may have seen reports about the fact that in the recent Call of Duty update, they have added a platform linking for Nintendo so that you can link your Nintendo account to Call of Duty, which is very particularly interesting considering the fact that, well, Call of Duty is not on Switch 2 right now. But I feel like that's about to change because, well, you wouldn't be adding systems for people to link their Nintendo accounts to Call of Duty if you're planning to release the game. Very high chance that we might actually get a surprise of confirming Call of Duty is on Switch 2 in 2026. I know it sounds crazy, I know it sounds crazy to people that what the hell, how the hell are you going to get Call of Duty to work on this system? I feel like there's going to be this sort of groundbreaking revelation that's going to confirm that they're going to like make this groundbreaking revelation that they've found a way to make Call of Duty work on the Switch 2. Like there's some form of technology that they've been able to do to make it happen. I feel like there's something along those lines is going to happen because it just makes sense. It would be like a major surprise for a developer direct. Like they're gonna make such a big deal out of it because like this is like one of the most groundbreaking announcements that could happen at the start of the year. Like imagine it. Imagine you're watching the developer directs, you've just seen all the games that they've hyped up and maybe a couple other surprises. And then the last thing they talk about, boom, Call of Duty's logo comes up. And Treyarch comes in and says, we have a major surprise for you. We managed to get the game on Switch 2. And imagine it being a shadow drop that you could play Call of Duty on Switch 2 straight away. Like, can you imagine that? Can you imagine the craziness about the fact that you could play Call of Duty on the Switch 2? Like that sounds wild to me. That especially for a game that usually, like in terms of file sizes specifically, manages to go over 100 GB every year, and the fact that you're able to run this game on a Switch 2 while still keep the file size that the game has on PlayStation and Xbox, unless it's going to be shorter, which I doubt it, but you never know. But like Call of Duty on Switch 2, like just how crazy is that? It's crazy to think about that, isn't it? The fact that we might finally see the Call of Duty brand come to a Switch 2 and you're going to be able to play Call of Duty in a Switch handheld mode as well as the TV mode. That's wild to me. I can't. Yeah, that's even crazy to me that's now becoming going to become more of a possibility in 2026. It's just it sounds wild, doesn't it? But I feel like it's going to be one of those surprises that they're probably gearing up to plan to drop as part of the developer direct. It's going to be one of those surprises that it's going to hit you when you least expect it, and it's going to be one of those things that gamers are going to be like, "Wow, how did they manage to do this?" I, I feel like if they do this, I'm probably going to end up having to try this out and see how it all works on the Switch too, because I'm very curious now. as to how Call of Duty is going to run on the Switch 2. How are they going to be able to make this highly, highly like network engaging Call of Duty titles into a Switch where obviously one of the requirements they're going to require you to have is Switch Online, obviously, because you're going to need it to be able to play. Because I'm expecting that to be a requirement when it comes to Call of Duty. And then it's just a matter of like, well, there's going to be well, obviously they're going to be offering the battle passes and stuff, but I'll be interested to see how Nintendo is going to accept this game because especially with especially with all the little controversies that Black Ops 7 has had. I wonder how they're going to handle that situation. I'm hoping that Nintendo's going to, hopefully Nintendo's going to find a workaround so that it doesn't like upset their audience too much about the whole like, well, particularly the AI stuff that Call of Duty's been getting themselves in trouble with. Um, but it's, but either way, I'm very interested to see how Call of Duty runs on the Switch, which, more importantly, which Call of Duty is coming to the Switch. Is it going to be Black Ops 6? Is it going to be Black Ops 7? Is it just going to be Warzone? I'll be interested to know. Or could it be a past Call of Duty? Could it be Duty that comes to Switch 2 before the newer ones? Who knows? We're going to hopefully find out. But considering the fact the whole Nintendo linking is tied to Call of Duty Hub. I feel like it's either going to be Black Ops 7, Black Ops 6, or Black Ops 6, Black Ops 7, or potentially Warzone as the main Call of Duties that are are possibilities to be coming to Switch 2 unless we end up getting a past Call of Duty, which they might experiment by bringing past Call of Duties before bringing the newer one. But I feel like the newer ones are going to be more likely because they want to test the waters to see if maybe more Call of Duty titles can come to Switch 2 later in the year potentially. We'll see how it all goes. But I feel like because of the chatters about that, I feel like they might be gearing up to reveal plans for that. Potentially in the developer direct, they might reveal Call of Duty on Switch 2. So maybe that's the place where they're going to announce it. Or they might save it for a Nintendo Direct or maybe till the Xbox Game Showcase of the summer to finally announce the Switch 2 Call of Duty release. But either way, we could expect some form of a Call of Duty to come to Switch 2 at some point in 2026 because of all the stuff behind this, game now offering abilities for you to be able to link your Nintendo account to Call of Duty, and it's just a matter of when we're going to see Call of Duty finally arrive on Switch 2 so you can finally link up your Nintendo account to Call of Duty and you can start using your Call of Duty account on the Switch. So it's just a matter of when that's going to start happening. But nevertheless, now in terms of other games, we could probably see. I'll be interested to see if we're going to hear something from the Halo team. And the reason I say that is because, well, Halo has got a campaign evolved, which is the remake of the original Halo campaign, which is going to be coming to PS5, Xbox, and etc. later this year. So I'm wondering if we're going to be hearing more about that potentially in the developer direct because, I mean, they did say they're going to reveal more sometime this year, and of course they've got crossplay support and stuff. So I'm wondering if we're going to see like a beta potentially for this game before it's released, and if so, maybe they'll announce it here. Um, hopefully we'll be hearing some news soon because I'll be interested to see how Halo. Yeah, I really want to definitely try out the Halo campaign evolved because I never really properly finished the original Halo games. It'd be nice to play the yeah, it'll be really nice to be able to play the campaign evolved. Hopefully, be able to play it with friends is kind of my goal for when Halo campaign evolved arrives. And I might probably get it on the PlayStation, but because I've got Game Pass, I might just use my Game Pass to play it. So maybe that's my plan to play it through there potentially. But so I think that most of the games that we could probably expect to hear from, really. I think most of the announcements, majority of the announcements are going to be saved for the summer showcase in June. I feel like they're going to wait till June to announce some of the bigger announcements that Xbox has planned for this year. Um, I feel like they're probably going to maybe tease the next gen Xbox during the showcase in June because I mean there is the talks about Xbox potentially getting potentially releasing their next gen console maybe within the next year, which could be 2027, but it might get delayed to 2028 because of the RAM situation. But we'll see. We'll see how things go because I mean there is talks that Xbox might be releasing it within the next year, so therefore they might be talking about their next gen hardware during the summer showcase this year. Potentially, we'll have to see if that's the plan from Xbox, and if they are, then it'd be interesting to see what they say about it because there's been this talk about a hybrid PC console thing that they're doing. So which means it's going to be potentially more expensive than the Series X and S is currently. So that's why I'm kind of debating whether I'm going to get this Xbox or not. I mean, I might have to hold off a little while because of the pricing, but we'll see how we get on potentially. But it's yeah, it's kind of an interesting time for Xbox because I mean we still because we're obviously going to be hearing more about this next gen Xbox. It'll be interesting to see how they handle this because of the fact that they want it to be similar to Rogue Xbox Ally, so then you can access Windows, but Windows is getting criticized a lot right now, so it's just yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I mean, don't get me wrong. I really want to get the Rogue Xbox Ally because, I mean, the reason why I want to get it is because the first ever Xbox handheld and the very first Xbox handheld is like a big thing. The fact that Xbox is now on the handheld, that's very exciting to me. So, I want to get that, and I also want to get me the Steam machine because I'm really excited about that. And I mean, there is a part of me that might also potentially get the Steam Deck OLED as well, so I might get me start forming a collection of gaming handhelds this year. So I finally have some PC gaming handhelds in my hands that I can take advantage of if I want to, so that I'll be able to finally play PC games with because majority of my friends are PC gamers, and whenever they get any cool games out, I can't play them because I have to wait till they release on console. If I had a PC handheld, I'll be able to actually play with them, which would be great. Um, so that's why I have my Ko-fi, by the way. I'm going to be leaving links to my Ko-fi in the comment section below if you want to support me. Well, I mean, I'm currently got a goal going. If you want to support me on trying to get Animal Crossing, because I'm trying to get Animal Crossing for the Switch so I can play with many of my friends, Tony and especially Little Moon. Hi, Little Moon. Hi. Yeah, because I want to be able to play with Little Moon on Animal Crossing, and there's many other friends who I've spoken to about Animal Crossing. They said, "Oh, I would love to play with you." So it'd be nice to hopefully start building my Switch 2 collection over the next few months. But I'm hoping that maybe we'll be able to build my Kobe Goal so that I'll be able to get Steam Deck OLED, Rogue Xbox Ally, and hopefully the Steam machine when that releases, because I would love to get the Steam console the Steam Machine console so that I'll be able to finally play PC games on the telly. That'll be really cool, and it'll be handy for me for stream because then I'll finally be able to play PC games as well as my Xbox and PlayStation games, so that I've got more variety in terms of gaming this year. I think that would be really, really helpful because I know that I always get told by most of my friends I should be getting a PC instead of a Mac, and I mean, I'm obviously going to still use my Mac because I mean, I've been sort of glued to the Apple system for a while, But I feel like if I get like the Steam Deck and that, at least I'm basically having access to be able to play PC games in some form. So then I'll be able to play with Angel and Sunny and that on the game on their preferred platform instead of just having to wait for certain games to catch up with being ported onto console and put in full crossplay support, etc. So if you want to support me, links are in the link will be in the description because I would like to try and get as many support as possible because I mean I can't do it without my community and without many of you viewers who want to support me on that because I want and I also want to be able to use my Kofi to be able to help Little Moon get a Switch too because her Switch is not doing particularly great when it comes to Fortnite, so I want to help her upgrade the Switch too. And also, she really wants to get Switch too, so I would like to make it possible before before they decide to increase prices and stuff because Nintendo's going to end up potentially doing that at some point to make sure that most affordable. Let's get it done and sorted. If you guys know what I mean. So hopefully we're going to be able to do that and be able to pull that off so that we can do some amazing things as a community and be able to beat loads of Kofi goals this year. I think that's kind of the goal, really. And I'm also trying to reach 1K as well. So if you want to help me with my goals to reaching 1K, by all means, subscribe because it'd be nice to get some more people on board. But yeah, that's kind of my sort of predictions for the Xbox Developer Direct. I'm sorry if I went a bit long. It's just I wanted to get. I had a lot of stuff I wanted to get off my chest, and it's just yeah, it's just a very exciting year. I mean, I'm excited to see when Rockstar will finally talk about GTA 6. Hopefully, we'll get a Sony State of Play soon. Hopefully, a Nintendo Direct is right around the corner. Now that we're getting close to February, so hopefully, we're not going to have to wait too long until we get to hear from Sony and Nintendo. But yeah, hopefully, a lot of cool stuff is going to get announced over the next few weeks and months. So, and hopefully, by the way, I'm also hopefully going to do some vlogs with Little Moon as well, because I know that's something I plan to try and do at some point this year. So,